Hello, lovelies. This is Mrs. Painter, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys about using percents to calculate sales tax, how to calculate tips, and how to calculate something that we call a commission. So we're going to jump right in with calculating sales tax. So our first question says, Jarius bought a new calculator. Congratulations, Jarius. It's a great purchase. It costs $12.40, and the tax rate is 7.25%. Calculate the tax and total cost for the calculator. Pardon me while I answer this call. So for this one, we are going to be using the is over of proportion, or the part over the whole, in order to solve these, is equal to the percent over 100. And actually, before we go too far, it's important, let's get the definition of sales tax in here. So I'm just going to open up my text. And the definition of sales tax is a percent that's added to goods when you purchase them. So a percent added to goods purchased. So it's when you're buying something. And in parentheses, I'm going to remind you that it goes to the government. Government. Let's just add that definition in there. So sales tax, by definition, is a percent added to goods purchased, and that money goes to the government. And it's always just a small percent of the cost, but it's added in on top of the price, and it's called tax, which helps provide, keep our country running. So back to the question, Jarius bought a new calculator and it cost him $12.50. The tax rate is 7.25%. Calculate the tax and total cost for the calculator. So like I was saying, we're going to use that is over of proportion and setting that equal to 100, or percent over 100. So I'm going to write that in real quick if I can find my pen. So when I am looking at this is over of proportion and I look back to my question, I've got two numbers. I've got $12.40 and a rate of 7.25%. So really what I'm wanting to find is, what is 7.25% of $12.40? So when I say what is, that means I'm going to be putting my X for my is, because I don't know what it is. And I'm going to go ahead and fill out this. And then I said, what is 7.25%? So 7.25% is our percent, so that's going to go up here on top. And then I said of 1240, which is right here, so the of 1240 goes down below. So setting up our proportion is super important, and it's the first step. Next, we will cross multiply, and I'm actually going to zoom in so that I don't run out of room, because I'm going to come really close to running out of room here. So if I do 7.25 times 1240, I'm going to need to use my calculator, and I get $89.90. So this times this, I get $89.90. And I'm going to leave that set equal to this product right here. X times 100 is just 100x. And now if you like to look at this as algebra, we've got 100 being multiplied by x, and we want to get x by itself. So to get x by itself, we would divide by 100. And if I do that on one side, I have to do that on the other side, which ends up giving me that it is 8990.899, which I'm actually going to round up because of the 899, and because this is going to be cents, it's going to be in the form of money. I just want 2 decimal places, so it's going to actually be 89 or 90 cents. It's going to round up to 90 cents. So when we ask, or when it asks what is the tax amount for the sales tax, it would be 90 cents. And then to find the total price, am I able to come over this way? Yeah. We're just going to take the original cost of the calculator, which was $12.40. We're going to add to that the tax that we just figured out. So you could use a calculator for this, or you could just add it by hand, and you end up getting $13.30. So just as a review, remember sales tax is a percent that is added to goods purchased, and that money goes to the government. So let's do an additional example together. So in this example, I'm picking on Zola. So Zola bought 2 birthday gifts for her twin nephews, and each gift cost $12.50 on its own. So sales tax was $6 or 6.75%. My bad. What was the absolute total price for the gifts, including the tax? So let's go back to the beginning. It says Zola bought 2 birthday gifts. So if Zola bought 2 birthday gifts and they were each $12.50, the first thing that we need to do is take $12.50 and we need to multiply that times 2. So if you take $12.50 and you multiply times 2, you're going to get $25. So Zola is actually buying $25 worth of gifts. Now it goes on to say that the sales tax was 6.75%. So we want to know what is 6.75% of 25. So I wrote that out. What is 6.75% of $25? So now I need my is over of proportion, and we need to figure out what goes in which place. So I'm going to zoom here, and I'm going to put my is over of is equal to my percent over 100. And then next to it, I want to put just kind of a skeleton. So I want to fill in this with a percent, and keep my 100. Oops. So now I'm going to zoom back out. So we said that each cost or birthday gift was $12.50 times 2, and that gave us the $25. So what is, when we say what is, there's our is, and our is in this situation is what. So we're going to call that X. Next, we've got 6.75%. So 6.75% is going to go right here. And then it says of. So our of is down here. So we're going to put it in the bottom, and we're going to put 25. So once we have that proportion set up, that's the most difficult part. And then we're going to cross multiply. So I'm first going to start by multiplying 25 times 6.75, and I'm going to use a calculator to do that. And I get 168.75. That is equal to my other cross, which is 100 times x, so 100x. And X is being multiplied by 100, and I want to get that by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by 100. Which is going to leave me with 1.6875 is equal to X. But because X is actually a dollar amount, it's going to be a cost, money that we're spending, we would need to round this to 2 decimal places. So I would look at these two and then decide if this one is 5 or bigger, it would make this guy go up. So instead of 8, we're going to call it $1.69. So our tax is $1.69. And then this is asking us to find the total price, including tax. So we're going to add that to the 25. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm just going to put plus $1.69. And I'm definitely going to use a calculator for this one so I don't mess up my place value. But I'm going to end up getting a total of $26.69. So Zola ended up spending $26.69 on the gifts for her nephew's birthday. At this time, I'd like you to go on, and on your own, I'd like you to try the on your own question that says Trenton bought a new game for $48. The tax rate was 7%. How much was the tax and the total price? So make sure you show all of your steps, and I can't wait to check to see your work.